Hi, folks. John Cordisco here with Cordisco's Corner, a new podcast. I had an intro video earlier. If anybody wants to click on it and check out the reason why I'm doing podcasts now, we might as well start right away. And I mean right away. Time is running short. I think for the presidential election as well as our republic. And I think it's time to stand up. And I want to personally thank Tim Pool, whose video a few weeks ago, really, I had thought about doing this for a long time until I saw a Tim Pool. He was on Timcast IRL, that's his other channel. When he said, and he got really mad, he said, enough's enough. I'm standing up. Where are the other people that should be standing up? Come on, let's go. And I said, you know what? You're right, Tim. Let's go. So here we are. Now it's time to start standing up. Stand up. Our rights are being taken almost every day. Everybody in the world talks about cocky Americans and arrogant Americans. You know what? We got a lot to be arrogant about. But our cockiness was based on the fact, it's funny. You're not cocky if you're right. We built, through our arrogance and through our cockiness, the most wealthy, most powerful nation in the world that ever existed. And we use that power the vast majority of the time for good. What world power could ever say that? No one. We're not perfect, but we used our power for good the vast majority of the time. And I see every day in the news and on YouTube channels here that I watch, our rights are being eroded. Can't go here, can't do this, can't do that. They showed a video of a woman sitting in a stands watching it looked like a junior high football game. I doubt if there were 30 people in the stands total. I don't think there was a person within 30, 40 feet of this woman. And there's the police. And there's must have been the park monitor, another Karen as they call them. She eventually got tased and handcuffed for not wearing a mask. This is enough. This is enough. Young people out there, if you're listening to this, you're giving away your rights too easily. You're very young. You don't know what it's like to lose them. Don't give them up. Say no. They used to say in the old days about drugs, just say no. Now it's time to stand up. Just say no. Enough is enough. Younger people don't understand something. And let them go back and read the Declaration of Independence or the U.S. Constitution. Our rights are not given by government. They're given by God. And those of you that are agnostic or atheist, it's a natural right of a human being. They have that the moment they're born. The rights that we have are guaranteed to us as humans, period. These small municipalities and states don't have the right to take away what we so heartily, men and women, go to Arlington Cemetery and see the row after row after row after row of dead people that have died defending our rights. It's criminal, especially for you young people, because you're going to realize it real soon. You start giving up your rights, you start doing that, it's going to be 10 times harder to get them back. Just say no. We've had enough. These local and state governments are closing down tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of businesses illegally. All the governors that have shut down states, including Republicans. I'm not just picking on Democrats, even though they're mostly Democrat. Democrats have had the most ridiculous shutdowns and regulations, destroying hundreds of thousands of lives. I'll bet, of course, I'll never be able to prove it because the stats and the numbers are hidden. I'll bet there are more people dying because of the conditions of the shutdowns that are dying of COVID. I can guarantee it. I have a small business myself. I got lucky. I have a convenience store, so I wasn't closed down here in upstate New York. The small businesses, small restaurants, you name it, little clothing stores, it goes on and on and on, from gyms to beauty salons to barber shops, and the list is endless. You're destroying their lives. And I'm asking the people out there, I know it's going to be hard. If you're a small businessman, they're not letting you open. Say the hell with it. The hell with it. You have your rights to run your business, to not have them shut you down, and not have them make you the criminal. And to every law enforcement officer out there, I have the utmost admiration for law enforcement. I've always been a huge law enforcement fan, for lack of a better term. In the last election when I ran for city council, I was endorsed by the Binghamton police. In fact, that probably caused me to lose, but I don't care. I would do it again. To all you law enforcement people out there, at the local level, at the county level, and even the state level, when you're getting orders to go arrest people or take their guns or take their rights away from them, you know what? You guys took an oath too. I know I took one when I was a city councilman that will hold the Constitution. Enough of this. I'm just doing my job. I really don't want to do this. You guys need to step up. And they see you're stepping up. People will be brave enough to step up as well and say, no, I'm done. I'm not doing, you're not taking my rights away from me. They're guaranteed to me as a human being and God. Do not let them take your rights away. I know I sound mad. I know I sound loud. I don't care. Enough is enough. These leftist progressives have destroyed my personal life and my future and my finances and my retirement. And I'll be 64 next month. But I don't care. Stand up. I know it's hard. I know it takes courage. But you business people can do it. And especially you, the men and women of law enforcement, especially at the local level, just say, no, I took an oath. I'm going to uphold my oath. And once that starts, the people, the regular rank and file people will start to get courage to say no. And it will spread like wildfire. It'll spread and spread, especially with the internet and all the social media platforms. It will spread that people are standing up, and it will give others courage to do it as well. Time is running short. We're losing our rights left and right. It needs to stop. Please, members of the law enforcement, please uphold your oath. And lastly, I'll leave you with this. I'm old enough to remember the 1960s in the civil rights movement, when Dr. King was right. And he had hundreds of thousands, millions of people peacefully protesting civil disobedience. To all you business people out there and all you members of law enforcement, civil disobedience. It's time to say no. It's time to stand up. And I'm going to leave you with this, especially you young people out there. Almost everybody has internet access. Look up the Constitution of the United States and read it. Some of it's dry reading, to be sure, but that's your freedoms on that document. Do not take it for granted. In your life, you take a personal relationship for granted, you lose it, and it never comes back. Our rights are being stolen every single day. To those of you in law enforcement, look up the oath that you took again. And then sit and think about carefully what you're going to do next. You're going to be the tip of the spear to get our rights back. All of you in law enforcement. And once people see that you're on their side as well, they'll start coming by the tens of thousands and then the hundreds of thousands. We can put a stop to this madness. Again, I want to thank Tim Poole for giving me the courage, the final step to do this and start my podcast. This is just the first episode. I hope to do 1, 2, 3, 4 times a week. Eventually, I'm going to get video equipment. But all of you young people out there, look up some stories of the 1960s civil rights era. Now, you're the one losing your rights, just like they were. Are you going to accept it? Or are you going to Fight back. This isn't just about you either, you young people out there. This is about your children are going to have and your grandchildren are going to have. What are you going to leave them? What are you going to say when you're 50, 60 years old? Say, well, it was really hard. No. Now is time to stand up. So I'll end this, my first episode of my podcast, and I hope that people wake up. I really do. People are led by example. We need somebody to start this. I have here locally. You just need to drum up the courage and do it. And believe me, the longer you go, the easier it will be. And at the end, I'll say what Edward R. Murrow always said on his radio broadcast. To everyone out there that's listening, good night and good luck.